Alright, it says we're live, so what's up everybody? I'm RedCloudGamer, and this is the first in a series of videos I've been planning to do, man, much longer than I really want to admit. Uh, in my videos, I'm really going to talk gaming news, previews, reviews, rumors, and of course my opinions and all of that. I'm going to try to have guests as often as possible. I do have a couple friends that have expressed interest in coming on regularly, so you guys that do decide to tune in aren't stuck uh, listening to my annoying ass every day, all the time. A little bit about me. I've been gaming, I mean, my whole life. My dad jokes that I came into this world with a controller in my hand. Realistically, I started gaming around 4. My older cousin got me to play Mario at his house, shortly before I started school. And I was hooked. I mean, I was hooked the second I found out my princess was in another castle. You know, and my mom still tells the story about how I came home and I just freaking harassed her, 4 years old, just like, yo, I need a Nintendo, I need a Nintendo, I need a Nintendo, I need a Nintendo. And she caved and got me one, and lucky for me, she really embraced my love for gaming. And she got me subscriptions to, all the gaming magazines that were out at the time, and kept me supplied with a steady flow of games, pretty much. I mean, it's not like I had everything, but I had a lot. I've pretty much been the source of gaming information for my circle of friends, I don't know, forever. And now, 2020, I've traded in my subscriptions to like EGM and GamePro and Nintendo Power and the PlayStation and Xbox magazines for subscriptions to different podcasts and various content creators across the web. Um, I try to soak up, I mean, as much information as I can about gaming day in and day out. Even games I'm not really interested in, just in case any of my friends wanna, hit me up and say, hey, can you tell me about this game? Can you tell me how to beat this? How to cheat this? Can you tell me whether I should buy this or not? Uh, that said, this is pretty much the plan for my opening of all of my videos. It's going to be a lot briefer because I don't have to introduce myself every time. So it'll just be this screen that you see, my social media information, my logo, and me just saying, hey, what's up? It's me. And this is the first episode, second episode, whatever, so on and so forth of this. Or if I'm streaming something, I'll introduce that. Then I'll switch over to the primary stream overlay that I made, which is right here. So I do make my own overlays. They're not great. I'm trying to get better at it, so bear with me. And really, any critiques, criticisms, compliments, anything you guys got, hit me at any of those social media platforms and tell me something you think I should do to improve this. And I'll gladly take it under consideration. Believe me. Um, that's really what this is about. Looking for like-minded people to chat with, and my gamer tag is up there. Hopefully, play some games. Um, if I find a following and people actually like my opinions and whatnot, that's dope. But really, like I said, it's just about finding some people to bullshit with, and that's what I'm hoping. So as far as this goes, you can see I've got a random video of the Avengers that I played. I don't know, a couple days ago, a week ago, whatever. I did record some grounded gameplay last night, but the recording actually came out like real stuttery, so I gotta investigate why the hell that happened. So I gotta stick with an older video that I had. Apologies for that. But most of you have never seen it, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And that's not really the focus of the thing anyway. So I watch several podcasts regularly. I'm a big fan of my personal favorite, the Xbox 2 podcast, Randall Thor and Jez Corden. Those guys are awesome. I really like how informative they are. I like their opinions. Most of the time I agree with what they're saying. And even when I don't, it still makes sense. Like their opinions are logical. And I don't know. I really want to give a shout out to Jez. I hope he sees this at some point. I reached out to him on Twitter, and he was real helpful in motivating me to do this. This is something I've wanted to do, like I said, for a long time. And I always thought, that's only something that like professionals do and whatnot. And Jez just kind of said, "Hey, you know what? If you got a passion for gaming, go out there and give it a shot." You know, uh, realistically, I'm not trying to, plan to be successful at this. I don't think I'm gonna have 10 million subscribers or even 10,000 subscribers. I just I want to put my opinions out there and see if anybody wants to, hit me back on it, have a debate, whatever. So yeah, Jez, thank you. Also, I watched the RDX podcast. A lot of those guys. Sorry, I probably don't remember everyone's name, but like Dealer, Tim Dog, Colt Eastwood. Love Colt Eastwood's videos. You guys have all really inspired me to do something with my love for gaming. So thank you all, and anyone that's listening to this, if you haven't watched either of those podcasts or any of those content creators, do it. Do it if you're interested in gaming at all. Especially those guys like me are Xbox primary gamers. Uh, Definitely check their stuff out if you are too. Um, I do game on everything. I have Xbox. The video for the Avengers here, as you can see from the button prompts, is a PlayStation video. I have a Switch. I keep a relatively powerful gaming computer in the house. I try to re-up my gaming computer in the middle of every console generation, so I'm not really banging myself with too much, expenses right at the start of a generation. I mean, these consoles are pretty pricey already. So I did this one that I'm on maybe 2 years ago. It's a i7 8700 and a RTX 2080. It gets the job done. You that said, I don't really have much of an opinion on PC gaming because I typically use my PC to play console games at higher qualities. I guess I just never really got into your typical PC games, RTSs, stuff like The Sims or MMOs. They're all cool. I see the appeal. I don't know. I guess they all came out at times in my life where I didn't really have the time to sink into a game that needed a time sink. Um, I guess I should start this off like all the other ones I watch. Really, what I've been playing lately, you can see on the screen. I actually like the Avengers. I know it's getting a lot of heat. The end game is mediocre at best, but the gameplay is solid. It's fun. You get a couple friends together. You just go around and beat up some bad guys. Turn the difficulty up for a little bit more of a challenge, and grind some gear out. I do think that there's a lot that needs to be done to make it have the lasting appeal that they're hoping for. I mean, this is a games as a service that they're planning on, competing with, like Destiny. Uh, do I think it will? No, not compete with Destiny, but I do think it'll be more successful than like Anthem, which is another one I had high hopes for that kind of failed miserably. They need better endgame content. They need more heroes. Um, they need to clarify a save issue that I'll get onto later when I talk PlayStation. But overall, yeah, I like it. When I got my friends to play with, it's a fun game. Um, Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Grounded. I got really hooked on the game when it first came out. I've kind of stepped back on it. Nothing against it. I think it's a really fun game, but I don't normally stick to early access games for very long. I play them long enough to understand whether or not I like them, and then I wait for the final release, or I hop in whenever there's like a major update. I did play a little Grounded last night. I'll probably play it again at some point this week. And also, I've been playing some Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk 2 is my favorite game of all time, so when they did a remaster of 1 and 2, not even a remaster, a remake, I was thrilled. Game's fun. It's just as fun as it was when I was a kid. And, I mean, anyone that was interested in Tony Hawk back then, really, guys, buy it again. It's great. And anyone that just likes fun games, I think Tony Hawk has the perfect formula. It's just, a little 2-minute run, play, try to get the goals, try to get the highest score, then hand the controller to your friend and see if they can beat you, and then take it back and see if you can beat them. That's gaming in a nutshell for me. So awesome. All right. past what I'm playing, I guess I should go on a news. I'm trying to breeze through this a little bit quicker because I don't have a partner today. I don't want to talk you guys' ear off forever. I was supposed to have a partner today, but he kind of bailed on me last minute. So hey, Greensween, when you see this, you suck. Just so you know. Uh, but news, I guess I'm gonna hop on the Nintendo stuff real quick. I personally am not a massive Nintendo guy anymore. I was when I was growing up, but I've moved on to PlayStation and primarily Xbox now. Um, Quick news for me: Super Mario 3D All Stars is out. Look, I think the game is good. I have the same complaints that most other people online do. Super Mario 64 should have been updated. I have it in widescreen on my computer. Why is it not widescreen on this game? I'm not asking for a full-on remake. The truth is, Nintendo is the best in the world at making fun games. That's just true. I don't think anyone can actually argue that. And that's not to say that no one else makes fun games, but it's what they excel at. Sony excels at single-player, narrative-driven games. Microsoft excels at competitive multiplayer and cooperative multiplayer games and online-focused stuff. Nintendo excels at fun games. And the beautiful thing for Nintendo in this is that fun doesn't get old. Whereas we look back at those games and go, oh, that does not look good anymore, but I thought it did before. It's still fun. I played Super Mario 64 on my Switch, I think the second day the game was out. And it was just as fun as it was back then. Also, Galaxy 2. Where the hell is Galaxy 2? Alright, enough people have talked about this online that I don't want to talk your ear off on it. But, come on, Nintendo. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. We need Galaxy 2 in there. Alright, it's one of the best Mario games ever made, in my own opinion, obviously. But I think a lot of people agree with me on that when I talk to them about it, so I'm going to go ahead and just say that, yeah, it's one of the greatest Mario games ever made, period. Bigger thing with Mario 3D All-Stars that I wanted to talk about is that this was the 35th anniversary of Mario, and the 35th anniversary of Zelda is coming up, and Zelda is my all-time favorite Nintendo title. Franchise. So I'm hoping that the fact that this year we got a new Paper Mario and we got this Mario collection suggests that next year not only will we get Hyrule Warriors 2 and Breath of the Wild 2, but I'm really, really hoping we're going to get a collection of, like the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, and because I missed it, because I'm a jerk and didn't like the Wii, Skyward Sword HD. I would love it if they would give those back. I would run through it, and I'm going to be honest with you, Nintendo, people on here that might listen to me are going to be mad that I say this. I'd pay more than $60 for it. Okay, I don't want to. I'd rather it be 60, but if you're charging more, as long as I get all three of those games, you can have my money. I promise. Within reason. Don't charge me a system. Also, my buddy that was supposed to be in here today, he wanted to talk about the rumors of a Switch Pro. I've heard about these rumors since, let's be real guys, since the Switch came out. There was talk about a Switch Pro dock, upgraded Switch model, and there's been all sorts of theories on it. Maybe it's just a 1080p screen with a slight CPU, GPU overclock. Maybe it's a full-featured Pro model similar to the PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. I don't have any inside information. My own opinion, Nintendo needs a Pro model Switch sometime in the next 18 months. I hope that it comes soon. And the reason I say they need one is the Switch is already missing some games. There's already some games that developers just say they can't get running or they can't get running adequately on the current Switch hardware, like Assassin's Creed, or like the Outer Worlds. I mean, it's there, but let's be real. Anyone that played it decided really fast they shouldn't have. The Switch version is the lesser version, clearly. So, with us moving on to new consoles where the lowest common denominator, especially CPU-wise, because we all know that graphics are actually pretty easy to, downgrade. That's why PC games normally have amazingly high ultras and lows that look like their previous generation graphics. But the CPU is much harder to, scale back on game design. And we're already seeing the CPU of the Switch not be able to run the modern Assassin's Creed games. So how is it going to run games that are designed on the low end? What is the PS5 3.2 gigahertz CPU when it's not boosted? And the Series S 3.6? I mean, That's a problem. You're not. There's going to be a lot of games designed for these new consoles that the Switch is literally incapable of running. And then, as successful as it's been, its third-party support is going to dry up in a lot of major titles because companies aren't going to invest in getting those games to run on hardware that's going to compromise it so much that it changes their vision. You know. So I do hope a Switch Pro model is coming. Moving on, PlayStation. Look, I fell in love with PlayStation with PS1. PS2 was my favorite console of all time. I had so many games for it that I absolutely loved. I think we all did. I kind of fell off a little bit with the PS3. I felt like their online offering was lacking for most of the generation, if I'm being honest. And PS4, I have it here. I got it at launch. I got a Pro when that first came out. I swapped that out for God of War Pro when that came out. But I've really only used it for exclusives. News, rumors, opinions wise, there's only one thing that I really care about with the PS5 right now. This save issue has me worried. So I'm not, an industry insider. I'm just a guy that plays video games. And from what I'm seeing, Microsoft designed their next-gen console as an extension of the consoles we already have. Damn near identical OS, save system pretty much the same, just kind of like upgrading your PC. And Sony essentially designed their next-gen console like it was an entirely different type of PC, almost like you're switching from PC to Mac. And now we're hearing that a lot of games, I say a lot, and it's not super, like it's not confirmed how many, but we're hearing developers say that there's a save problem. So I'm assuming that it's going to be a lot more. And the fact that Sony hasn't come out and clarified otherwise tells me that it's going to be a lot more. But we're hearing that a lot of games are likely to not be able to transfer saves from PS4 to PS5. And personally, I think that's not really a big deal in older games. Something that I've already finished that I might not even go back to. Or that if I do, it might be so long that I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to restart it. But games like Cyberpunk, which is coming out, I think, right after the system. Games like this one, The Avengers. The Avengers has me puzzled right now. Like I said, I'm enjoying the game, but I normally buy my games on Xbox, my multiplayer games. I convinced my close friends to buy Avengers on PlayStation, because I was buying Avengers on PlayStation because Sony got Spider-Man, and I like Spider-Man. I wanted Spider-Man. I didn't want to miss out on him. So I'm now concerned because I don't have the confirmation of whether or not my save is going to carry over from the PS4 to the PS5. Now, I hope it does, especially because it's games as a service. I'm assuming that the save is not actually stored locally on my PlayStation, like exclusively. It's likely that my progress is locked into a server as well. But I would really like confirmation, because at this point I'm kind of nervous to even play the game. Like, I don't want to sink any more time into it if in a month or so I'm going to have to restart it. And before I switch off PlayStation topics, I just want to throw one complaint out about Sony. Look, guys, I've been playing your PlayStation products a long time. I've had every system. I've had your handhelds. I like what you do most of the time. I do not like the anti-consumer crap you pulled with the pre-orders. You told us all to sign up for pre-order notifications on your website. I did it on your website, and Amazon, on Best Buy. And you told us all, I want to say in July, there was an interview where you said you would not surprise us with pre-orders. And yet, we found out about pre-orders in a, 4 o'clock Eastern time, reveal stream for some games. And you said that pre-orders would likely go live as early as the next morning. And then they were all sold out before I got to my lunch break. That I can't really stress how much I myself, and I'm sure many other PlayStation gamers, felt kind of like you stabbed us in the back. I'm still going to get a PS5. It's likely not at launch, which upsets me. but I'll be looking for one in the future. Though, like, don't tell your gamers that you're not gonna surprise them and then surprise them. That's that's cheesy. And as far as I can tell, the only reason you did it was to get a leg up on Microsoft on pre-orders. Guys, PS5 was gonna sell out. Just like the Xbox is going to sell out. The Xbox One sold out at launch. The PS4 sold out at launch. Hardcore gamers buy new consoles. That's how it works. Okay? You didn't have to surprise anyone. You didn't have to essentially screw over, hardcore PlayStation fans. Now, moving on. Xbox. Look, I see a lot of people online that have the Series X. I follow a lot of them. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're getting to see a lot of people are playing these backwards compatible games. I just heard today that they unlocked another wave of back compat games for the testers. That's I don't know. I mean, obviously, I wish I had one, but I'm not a YouTube influencer or Twitter influencer. I'm just a guy that has like zero following. I pre-ordered my Series X. Microsoft, hey, I appreciate you guys giving us a heads up on when they were going live, and I was able to do it, as well as everyone else I know that tried. So, hey, Sony, you might want to learn a thing or two. But yeah, I'm excited. The load times that I'm seeing are a massive gain, just like Microsoft promised. A big thing, Digital Foundry, love those guys. Their content is always top notch. They did one of their performance analysis videos where they broke down how these games ran on One X and then how they're running on Series X. And to my knowledge, these are games that haven't actually been patched to take advantage of the Series X. This is just a game running with the raw boost you get from a monstrously powerful machine. Essentially like running a game when you upgrade your graphics card but you haven't gotten a new driver for it yet. And the gains we're seeing are crazy. I mean, Jez Corden out there talking about how his filmic Monster Hunter is now 60 frames per second pretty much. I assume that when developers really go in and patch and optimize, these games are going to lock to 60 no problem. Games that already locked to 60, Microsoft might be right. These games might bump to 120 frames. You have to understand that the power of this system, this is a massive leap. I mean, the GPU in raw metrics is twice the One X and roughly 10 times the original Xbox One, at least 9 times, But when you take into consideration the performance gains you get from just having new technology, just having more efficient RDNA 2 than we had. I believe the Xbox One was GCN first gen and the One X was GCN third or fourth gen. I'd have to check on that. I apologize if I was wrong. But yeah, the gains that we're seeing in just the raw power without optimization, it's impressive. And when you consider that the CPU is seeing the biggest boost we've seen, a lot of people don't know this, but the Xbox 360 and PS3 CPUs in raw performance are actually pretty similar to the Xbox One and PS4. I saw one website benchmarked the PS3 CPU actually beating the PS4s in a couple benchmarks. Just because of the raw speed boost. So now we're seeing significantly more efficient CPUs and significantly faster. I mean, what are you talking? The PS4 CPU is a 8-core 1.6 gigahertz Jaguar. And now the low end is the PS5 CPU running without boost at double that, 8 cores, 16 threads. That it just, guys, we're in for a treat. But gaming is going to see a bigger leap in this gen in performance. I'm not talking just graphics, but in performance and world building than we've seen since the jump from PS2 to PS3. Because let's be honest, other than resolution and some geometry, the jump from PS3 to PS4 wasn't the massive jump many of us were hoping for. This time it is. I guess I'm at 25 minutes or so. I'm sorry that I talked your ears off without a partner for 25 minutes. I'll I'll try to get someone in here for the next video. My plan is to do videos every week on Mondays, just because it's my one guaranteed day off. That's pretty much it from me. Let's pop back to this. I'm happy I finally put one of these out. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Again, thank you to Jez and Rand for inspiring me to give it a shot. I hope that this was decent enough quality, and I hope that you guys will hit me with some feedback at, you know, my Xbox or PlayStation. I don't use my Twitch so much, but you can, you know, find me there sometimes. And my YouTube, and of course my Twitter. You know, any feedback you guys got, anything you think I should do to improve, anything you think I should just cut, whatever you want, whatever you think is best, I am down for any advice you guys might have for me. That said, I guess this is RedCloudGamer signing off. See you guys next time.